The long-anticipated Cyberpunk 2077 has finally come out, and the big question is, does it meet expectations? I'm currently 10 hours into the game, and I thought I'd let you all know what I think of it so far. Cool? Let's go. So, without beating around the bush a whole bunch, this game is outstanding. It's been a very long time since I've been so excited about a game coming out, and my expectations of Cyberpunk were set pretty high. Usually, when I set high expectations for something, I get let down, but not this time. CD Projekt Red has really outdone themselves, so let's get into some of the details. First of all, the game is optimized extremely well by the developer. If you look in the description of this video, you'll see my PC specs. If you take a look at that, and if you know anything about computers, you know that I've got a very mid-ranged to lower-end setup. That being said, I am able to run Cyberpunk at almost all ultra settings on a 1920 by 1080 display while recording with OBS and without many FPS issues. I had to turn down some of the shadows, but that's about it. As far as glitches go, I've encountered a couple very minor issues. In the 10 hours I've played so far, I've seen one character kind of floating around for about 5 seconds, lips not moving while someone's talking, and I've also seen several prop animation issues, like Keanu Reeves' cigarette floating and multiplying after he flicked it. For a game this big and this complex, I'm actually kind of surprised that I haven't run into more issues, especially since this game launched, I don't know, like 20 hours ago at the time of this recording. When you begin the game, there is character customization for you to go through, so you can modify your character's appearance. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but I do think most players prefer character customization rather than, just playing a static character, so it's worth noting. The customization options are pretty good. It's not the most comprehensive character customization system I've seen, but it's not bad at all. So the meat of any good game is the actual gameplay, in my opinion. It took me around 3 hours or so to start feeling the nuances of the controls. At first, it kind of felt a little slow and clunky trying to run around and get headshots, but now it's starting to feel a lot more natural and fast-paced. It always takes a little while to adjust to the control flow of a new game though, so no real surprises there. I just don't want you to be caught off guard by that. Also, you might assume that there's a steep learning curve to playing Cyberpunk, especially with hacking computers and stuff like that, but there's an in-game tutorial that's really well done, and it will bring you up to speed with everything. Anyway, I really like the gameplay in Cyberpunk. It kind of reminds me of a mixture between Fallout 4 and Grand Theft Auto, with The Witcher 3's rich storytelling. Speaking of story, I'm not the type of gamer who typically likes to sit around waiting for dialogue to finish. I kind of categorize myself as a performance gamer, which is much more concerned about min-maxing everything rather than caring about story. For me, one of the few exceptions to that rule was The Witcher 3, and now I can add Cyberpunk 2077 onto that list. It must be a CD Projekt Red thing. A lot of the stories are disturbing, which I like for some morbid reason, and almost all of the storylines are engaging. I actually shut the subtitles off because I'm not interested in reading the dialogue super fast and skipping through. I want to listen to the dialogue and story.
Now, either you put a muzzle on this creature, or put her down. It's impossible to have a conversation with her around.
You're scum. Pathetic. A waste of words. I'm a hair away from putting you down.
Need air. I'll be outside.
Some of it is genuinely funny, like in this scene. there's something important on TV, and the bartender changed the channel to this ridiculous-looking show, and a fight almost ensues.
Fucking sucker scums everywhere.
Hey, I was listening to that.
Shut up. Nobody except you wants to watch that shit about that corpo cunt.
What did you say?
You heard me.
Let it go, Takamura.
For the most part, the voice acting is pretty good.
You're wasting your lives following us around like dogs.
For the most part, I'd say maybe 70% of it is really good, 20% of it is okay, and that last 10% of it is kind of cringe. One of the things that excites me the most about a video game is its depth. I would define depth as any number of systems which allows for user choice. The more systems there are, the more depth there is. Dialogue options that actually have consequences, a perk system, mission optimization, loot drops and inventory management, character loadout, mercantile, and crafting are all examples of depth, and Cyberpunk has it. We're not going to cover all of that in detail in this video, but let's talk a little more about the perk system. There are 6 main categories of perks: body, reflexes, technical ability, intelligence, I don't know what this is going to be yet, and cool. If you put a point into reflexes, for example, your character will move faster, your evasion will increase, your crit chance goes up, and your mantis blades will do more damage. You can put points into any one of these 6 main categories, or you can go into one of their subcategories. For example, reflexes has multiple perk trees inside of it: handguns, assault rifles, and blades. In order to unlock perks, you'll actually need to raise the level of that perk's related attribute by using it throughout your gameplay. So if you want to unlock more handgun perks, you're going to want to start using your handgun more in combat. I estimate there to be around a total of 200 to 250 perks to put points into, and a lot of those perks can have multiple points put into them, so this game is a total perk fest, and I like that. The audio in Cyberpunk is very well done as well. The weapons give good feedback, and the OST has some pretty amazing tracks. I mean, just check this one out for a second. Pretty sick if you ask me. Alright, now I'm just going to rattle off a few more things you might want to know bullet point style. You know, these are things that I don't really have to go into depth or anything like that. So, first of all, the map is huge and the city itself feels congested and real. You can do manual saves, and there's also automatic autosaves that happen in the background. There's a street credit system that allows you to buy better stuff and unlock new missions as your street cred goes up. You can own multiple cars. As of now, you can't customize those cars. Weapons have mod slots for weapon mods, and armor can also have mods. In-game props are detailed and are oftentimes humorous or sexual in nature. There's tons of side quests, and the last thing I want to mention, this game exceeds my expectations. And that's something that I can't say for a lot of the games that come out nowadays. I don't think it's just the novelty of playing a new game that's better than average that attracts me to Cyberpunk. I think it's just an amazing game. If you were on the fence about buying Cyberpunk 2077, I hope this video was helpful in giving you some insight into what you can expect. If it did, please consider dropping a like on this video, and if you'd like more Cyberpunk 2077 content from me, a subscription would do the trick. Thanks for watching, and Godspeed.
Root.
A hostile enemy aircraft has a knock on it.
Leave it to me.